All right, let's start. So, welcome everyone and very good afternoon to all of you. This is our first tech webinar which we are presenting today from Safe Security. We'll be having the series of webinars going forward in the future for the InfoSec community and for the entire security community across the globe. The first webinar is focused on Unsafe Bank, which is a vulnerable banking suite which is being developed by Safe Security for past couple of years now. Let's see what we have today for you as a part of this webinar and what is the agenda that we would be covering. So we'll be giving you the introduction to the Unsafe Bank. We'll be providing you with the entire application walkthrough. What are the features? What are the functionalities? How can you install the application? How can you use this application? What are the vulnerabilities which one can discover in the application? Then why Unsafe Bank? I mean, today in the community, there are a lot of applications available on which security enthusiasts, newbies, or developers, they can access the application and figure out the vulnerabilities. But why Unsafe Bank? So we'll have the comparative study and the USPs of Unsafe Bank. And what is the further roadmap which we have for Unsafe Bank? Since this is not the application we developed and launched, our target is to continuously manage and keep developing and keep providing the updates to this particular banking suite and to update all the vulnerabilities which we are discovering on a day-to-day basis. So yeah, let's move ahead. Unsafe Bank. So what it is, for whom it is, and why it is, right? These are the three primary questions which we would be answering today. So it's a core virtual banking suite we designed or developed on all three application platform, which is web application, Android application, and iOS application. The idea behind this suite was to introduce as many vulnerabilities as we can so that newbies, developers, or security analysts, or somebody who doesn't have any security knowledge can learn, hack, and improvise their security assessment skills or their vulnerability assessment and penetration testing skills. We developed this application back in January 2019. The first version was ready, and Lucidius back then used to use this application internally. And post that, we thought, why not make it public? Why not give something to the security community? Why not give something to OWASP? We are getting so much from the security community on day-to-day basis. So we decided to make it public, and we first launched this application back in March 2020, wherein this application was listed by OWASP in their vulnerable web applications directory and their OWASP MSTG, Mobile Security Testing Guide. So if you were to check where is this application listed on OWASP, so under OWASP MSTG, the application is listed wherein OWASP MSTG leaders have listed our applications out there. And under the web applications section as well, you can find the Unsafe Bank link, which is available on all three platforms. So this was there when we went public with this application. Yeah. So let's see what this application is, how does it work, and what in terms of features and functionality it provides to an end user. So this is the dashboard. This is the login page of this application, and user can come up here and sign up and create their bank account. It's a straightforward registration form with first name, last name, gender, mobile number, and so on and so forth. Once a user sign ups, it provides a user with the customer ID or the banking ID, using which a customer or an end user can log in into the bank account, just like the way we are doing the real-time banking. The idea behind this is to introduce the application which is resonating the real world environment. So when we developed this application, we thought of making a banking suite which would provide the end-to-end banking functionalities to all its users. So I just logged into this application. One of the things we also considered out here while developing this application was the very clean and crisp UI, as you can see on the screen. There are not much functionalities, not much features, so that you don't juggle up and you focus on the vulnerabilities and on the functionalities of this application. This is a virtual money. As soon as you sign up, is being provided to the user. We move forward. There's an account statement wherein if you perform any debit transaction or any credit transaction, the list is shown out here. There is a functionality of adding a beneficiary or view all the beneficiaries. So I can see who are all the beneficiaries available in my account. And if I want to add any new beneficiary in my account, all I have to provide is the account number, the alias name, and the IFSC code of that bank account. These all are the virtual account numbers, not the real-time account numbers. Then there's a fund transfer module wherein we can transfer money between the bank accounts. All you have to do is to select the beneficiary and provide the amount. So I'll go ahead for this. Let's say I want to transfer some $50,000 to Nathaniel, and sorry, description is personal, and $50,000 to Nathaniel. Yeah, so it is asking for two-factor authentication, which is one-time password. Since we do not have any mobile number mapping, we have provided the OTP on the browser itself. As you can see on the screen, there's an OTP which has been shown. Security enthusiasts can directly see from here that what kind of vulnerability it is and what kind of serious loopholes it can lead to. So let's go ahead with this, click on continue, and the fund transfer is complete, right? Idea behind all of these features is to introduce as many vulnerabilities as we can, right? We'll see what kind of vulnerabilities we have incorporated and how many vulnerabilities we have incorporated across these modules. There is a wallet transfer functionality on which the team is working hard, and this feature would be live very soon. Then there's a loan section wherein a user can apply for different types of loan, be it car loan, home loan, or personal loan, and can see the applied loans with the rate of interest. Under settings, a user can change the account password, the banking password, which is there. Contact us page, wherein a user can post the queries to the banking admin, wherein in case they are facing any challenges, in case they have something to share with the bank, they can definitely make use of this particular module and share the message. About us is just talking about about the unsafe bank and its feature. Nevertheless, I mean, since it's a vulnerable application, there is highly likely that there are some vulnerabilities luring around in this page itself. Then there is a My Account section wherein a personal information or the account information of the user is being shown, including the randomly generated Aadhaar ID, income tax number, mobile number, wallet ID, and so on and so forth. An end user can definitely update some of the details, can also provide the profile picture URL out there. So yeah, this is it when we talk about the web application platform. The similar application is also available on Android and on iOS. Android application is not yet launched. We'll be launching it in a week's time. However, iOS is something which is already available on our GitHub account and can be accessed directly. So for now, I'll sign it out from here. So this is the application walkthrough, wherein we have tried to cover as many as BFSI features or functionality we can, and try to introduce as many as vulnerabilities we can. We'll see the numbers going ahead, how many vulnerabilities we have introduced from our security knowledge base, which Lucidus is developing, or Safe Security is developing over the years now. So one common question which we keep getting, why do I use Unsafe, or why Unsafe, which you might also be thinking today. Since there are a lot of platforms available in the community, a lot of platforms listed in OWASP vulnerable directories, and if you Google them, there are a lot of, right? However, the very first thing we thought of developing this application is to introduce a platform which is resonating the real world environment. When you log into this application, when you access this application, you will not feel like that you're testing any test application or something. You will feel like that, yeah, you are really doing or performing banking on a real world environment. And that's where the idea is to find or to make you aware of what kind of vulnerabilities can be found or are luring around those BFSI industries or those banking apps. The second idea behind that was to introduce SAST, DAST, and SCA. So when we talk about application security, it's not just the source code review, or it's not just the dynamic security assessment, or VAPT, or it's not just the software composition analysis. It's a combination of all three. So we have developed this application wherein we have deliberately introduced the vulnerabilities in the source code, so that one can definitely scan the source code and run the source code review of the application on multiple programming languages. Since web application is being developed on PHP, iOS application is being developed on uh, Swift language, and then Android application is being developed on Android language, on Java. And then dynamic security, I mean, it's available on Android, iOS, and web, all three. Software composition analysis is the source code review or the analysis of the third-party libraries or the components which we are using, or which any other banking application is using as a part of their development lifecycle. We also need to ensure that those third-party libraries or frameworks are not vulnerable to any security loophole. We have tried to introduce all three kind of security testing out here with the vulnerability coverage across all the vulnerability groups. Cross platform. If I look back and if I see the applications available out there, I'll not find much applications which are available on all three platforms with similar UI, with similar functionality, with similar vulnerabilities, right? So here we have tried to develop an application which can run on all three platforms: web, Android, and iOS as of today. And that's where we made this application on all three platforms. Vulnerability coverage. I'll go further for vulnerability coverage. So today, as we speak, there are 60 plus security vulnerabilities we have intentionally introduced in Unsafe Bank. Why this plus is there? It could be more than 60, which even we are not aware of today. That's how security works. Then talking about the further roadmaps of introducing the new vulnerability. Today, Lucidius has a security knowledge base, right? Security vulnerability knowledge base, wherein we have 300 plus vulnerabilities, which are just applicable on the application platform. Idea out here is to increase this number every month, every year, every quarter, and our goal is to reach there so that this application becomes one-stop solution for all the security newbies and the InfoSec community which is there. Talking about the security standards we try to follow out here is definitely the first and foremost is OWASP, wherein we have covered all the OWASP web top 10 vulnerabilities and mobile top 10 vulnerabilities. However, we have also focused on Sense 25. It is not that these are the direct vulnerabilities which are there, since we are talking about 60 plus vulnerabilities. Under authentication or under authorization, there could be n number of ways, and we have tried to introduce those n number of cases when it comes to finding the vulnerability on a real world environment. So that's there on the vulnerability coverage side. Then ease of use. I mean, it's pretty much easy to configure and easy to use application. This is our GitHub repo, which is live available, Lucidius repo/unsafe bank. As you can see, the application is available on Android. There's its backend and web application, and then iOS application. If you go inside, there's an IPA file of this iOS application, and there's a source code of this iOS application. You can go through this README file wherein we have described the way this particular application can be configured. One thing we targeted is to make it Dockerized, so that the backend system or the OS which you are using will not have an issue while running this application. You run it on Windows, you run it on Linux, you run it on Mac. It's compatible since it's a Dockerized application. All you have to ensure is that you have a Docker installed in your system, and then clone this repo and then directly access it. In case of Android and iOS, you would also need the mobile device wherein you can install the iOS application and the Android application. These are the Docker commands which are very easy to set up, easy to use. One can directly run these commands and start their backend and the web application. The directions are given to how to install iOS applications using multiple other methods. In case you're facing any issue, you can always test the connectivity status, whether your application is working or not. So similar for the web application. Once your application is up and running, an end user can always create a user account using the sign up functionality. Also, the existing user bank accounts are available are available to use, so that one can add the beneficiary or view the beneficiary to perform the banking related transactions. These are some of the troubleshooting tips we have tried to capture out here. In case you face any issue, you can definitely look back here and resolve all those issues if it is of similar kind. In case you are facing any issue or any suggestion you have to improvise this particular banking suite further, you can always file an issue at this GitHub repository. So yeah, that's there. Then talking about the continuous management, again, if we look back on the available vulnerable applications in the market, they're not being continuously managed. Here, we make it a point that every month or every 2 months, we are introducing something new. We are introducing some new vulnerabilities which are there on this platform, so that this doesn't become deprecated, and we cover most of the vulnerabilities from the real-time scenario. Yeah. So what are the further roadmaps which we have for this application, and what is that we are targeting and where we are trying to go with this application? We are targeting to make it a one-stop solution for the InfoSec community or for the security enthusiasts, so that they can again learn, hack, and improvise their security skills, not just on web, Android, iOS, but then in future we are trying to introduce it on thick client application. We are trying to introduce the container security since it's a Dockerized based application, and then multiple other programming languages, so that it will give you an edge to basically perform the source code reviews. We will definitely introduce new vulnerabilities as we move forward. We'll introduce the new features. As we saw, that there are some features which are still in the coming soon phase or are under development. Those features we would be launching. There's a plan to launch the Android application in next few weeks. In next 2 months, we'll be launching the Windows-based thick client application, so that that application can also be tested against this. And definitely, since the application is on Docker, we'll be introducing the vulnerabilities in our Docker environment, so that Docker security assessment can also be done. So yeah, this is it. Thank you for joining in. If you have any question, you can post on the question box, and I'll be happy to take them and answer them. Yes, you can definitely get the recording. We'll provide you with the link to access the recording. Where use? I did not get this question completely. However, if I'm not wrong, you're asking about how can you use this application. So this is the GitHub link for this unsafe bank repo, wherein you can clone this repo from here and start using this application. All the guidelines and how to set up this environment and set up the application has been described here very well. In case you face any issue, you can post the questions out here. We will definitely respond to those issues. Any further questions? Okay, we'll wait for 1 more minute in case you have any question. Otherwise, we'll end our first tech talk for today. Yeah, so within next 1 week, Android application would be available on our GitHub repository. You would be able to find the Android application APK file and the source code under this folder, and you can access the Android application. Thank you all. Thank you once again for taking the time out for this. Thank you.